So, ready? Who is going to vote on Tuesday? Okay. Don't forget. Don't forget.
On the eve of the midterm elections, the president is hitting the road in full campaign mode, holding rallies in 3 states tonight. Before he left the White House, he talked one-on-one with our chief political correspondent in Washington, D.C., Scott Thuman. Topics included his midterm predictions, how he'd handle a potential Republican loss of the House, and one thing he regrets during his time in office. Scott joins us now live from the Capitol.
Yeah, Natalie, if the president is worried about these results tomorrow, he certainly didn't want to show it to us. I did talk with one higher official in the White House who indicated that they are concerned about what's going on, especially with the House races more than the Senate. But the president, he was full blast, saying that momentum is on their side. How confident are you about not just the Senate, but also the House? Could you give me a scale of 1 to 10 you're feeling right now?
I don't know if I should do that. That always comes back to haunt. But I think we're doing really well. You've seen my rallies, my speeches.
We get the biggest crowds by far.
There's an electricity going around that I haven't seen since 16, which was the presidential election.
You feel okay about the House then?
I feel good about the House. I feel really good about the Senate, but you never know what happens.
Say, for example, you were hypothetically to lose the House. How would you get your agenda through for the next 2 years?
Well, you have to fight, and you have to do what you do, and maybe it comes together, and maybe it doesn't, but, you know, maybe it's nasty and maybe it's productive. It could be productive, but I would just say you have to acclimate.
On the tone and tenor of politics right now, I know you blame some Democrats blame you.
Sure.
It's clearly either way pretty nasty out there. You can't be happy with how vitriolic it is though, right?
No, I'm not. I'd love to get along, and I think after the election, a lot of things can happen. But right now, they're in their mode and we're in our mode. And, you know, if you're criticized, you have to fight back.
Do you think there'll be some sort of olive branch you'll be able to extend
really
afterward that
well,
you'll
I hope
be able
so.
to?
It's certainly better for the country. I hope that happens, and we are certainly willing to do that. And I think probably before anything else, we have to get tomorrow over with.
You mentioned immigration. Obviously, that's one of the more polarizing issues out there right now. Some people believe that the talk about it, that leads to fear-mongering and that can actually spark racism. Do you worry about that?
No, I don't. And it's not racism. It's just that people have to come into our country legally. Otherwise, you don't have a country.
Talk to me about, this is something that I asked your predecessor about during his term. I asked President Obama, so I'll ask you the same thing. Is there anything, as you look back at your first almost 2 years, that you regret, that you wish on you, that you could just take back and redo?
Well, there would be certain things. I'm not sure I want to reveal all of them, but I would say tone. I would like to have a much softer tone. I feel to a certain extent I have no choice, but maybe I do, and maybe I could have been softer from that standpoint. But that would be something I would say that I'll be working on.
At the White House, I'm Scott Thuman. However, keep in mind, this is a political prize fight, and what's at stake is control of Congress, so don't expect any immediate or dramatic shift in tone or added civility, perhaps not just after tomorrow, but anytime soon. Natalie?
Scott, thank you for that live report. Historical showing at the polls?
That's what many are expecting for tomorrow.